Welcome back, students. So in my last video I have explained the different access modifiers like public, private and protected. Okay, how the variables or data members will behave when you declare them as public and how they will behave when you declare them as private, that we have seen with the help of example program. And concerning this private access modifier, I told you, protected access modifier, I told you we'll be discussing in inheritance. Okay, so in today's class we'll be discussing this constructor concept. It is a very important concept, constructors. So quickly we'll see what is a constructor and how it is helpful in our programming. Okay, so a constructor, we can treat it as a member function only. Okay, we can treat it as a member function only, but it is not like a regular member function. We said every class is going to have two different types of things. One is data members and another one is member functions. Okay, so what is a constructor? A constructor is also a member function, but it is going to have some special properties, special features. That is the reason why we can call this constructor as a special type of member function. So what is a constructor? It is a special type of member function. Constructor is a special type of member function. Okay, so the first point that you have to remember when a constructor is concerned is you cannot take the constructor name as any irrelevant thing. It must be same like your class name. Whatever class name you are taking, in that same way you have to take your constructor name. So constructor name or constructor identifier must be same like your class name. This point you have to remember. Constructor name must be, it must be same like your class name. Must be same like class name. So if your class name is box, what will be the constructor name? Same, it should be box only. But as it is a member function, it has to come with parenthesis. It has to come with parenthesis. So like this. Class name you can take like this, but constructor name it should be like this because it is a member function. Understood? And another important point, no need to invoke your constructor specifically, like how we are invoking your member functions. In order to invoke your, we have used like get volume member function, isn't it? In order to invoke this get volume member function, what we have done? First of all, we have created the object of box class, box b1, then b1 dot get volume. Like this we have done. But when it comes to your constructor, no need to invoke the constructor specifically. Okay, that second point you remember. No need to invoke the constructor specifically. Understood? No need to invoke the constructor specifically. Then how we are going to get the functionality means, when you are creating the object here box b1, when you are writing like that, at that point only all your associated constructors will be invoked. The point where you are creating the object, at that point only all your associated constructors will be invoked. No need to invoke the constructor specifically like your regular member function. And the third point which you have to remember when it comes to constructors is, constructors will not have any return type, but they can have parameters. Okay, that point you have to remember. The third point, okay, constructors will not have return type. but can have parameters. Parameters. If a constructor is having parameters, we call it as parameterized constructor. That concept also we will see. Under this constructors only, parameterized constructor also we will see. Okay, so these three are very important points that you have to remember. Basically, why we use constructor in the sense in order to initialize your object. So the main purpose of using constructors is to initialize the objects. To initialize the objects, we use the constructors. This point you remember. Why we use constructors? Constructors to initialize the object. What do you mean by initializing the object? In the sense, inside a class we have seen different data members we are having. Without any initial values, simply we are declaring those data members. And in order to get the functionality, we are creating objects. Isn't it? In order to use the functionality of a class, in order to get the functionality of a class, we are creating objects. And with the help of those objects, we are accessing the data members. And how we are accessing? Every time, when we have created the object b1 dot length equals to 20, b1 dot height equals to 30, b1 dot width equals to 40. Like that, we are initializing. But with the help of constructor, instead of initializing like that, we can directly initialize all your data members with the help of this constructor. How we will do that, I will explain. So by that time, you simply remember constructors are helpful to initialize the objects. Constructors are helpful to initialize the objects. And as far as the points are concerned, under this constructor, we said it is a special type of member function. And what parameters we have to follow when we are using a constructor means these 1, 2, 3. Okay, constructor name must be same like your class name. We can't take any other name for the constructor. It must be same like your class. If you are taking the class name as box, then your constructor name must be box. If you are taking class name as line, then your constructor name must be line. Likewise. So the next thing, no need to invoke the constructor specifically. Being a member function, your get volume or other member functions, they have to be invoked with the help of objects. But whereas when we are talking about constructor, no need to invoke them specifically. The point where you are creating the object, there itself your constructor will be invoked automatically. There itself the constructor will be invoked automatically. Next, the third point, constructors will not have any return value. Constructors will not have any return type, but they can have parameters. If a constructor is having parameters, we call that constructor as parameterized constructor. We call that constructor as parameterized constructor. Yes, quickly with the help of an example program, I will explain how these constructors are helpful in order to initialize our object. I will take that box class example only. See, remember, we are going to discuss very like 2-3 class examples, and you have to remember those 2-3 classes. Okay, because with those 2-3 classes only, we are going to discuss all the concepts in our C++ programming. One such class is the box class. So remember, whenever we are talking about a box, okay, we are talking about a box in real time. If you have seen a box, in real time, if you have seen a box, it will be like this, isn't it? It will be like a cube. It will be like a cube. It is going to have length. It is going to have height. It is going to have breadth. This is your breadth. breadth or width we can say. So using these three dimensions only we are manufacturing or we are constructing a box in real time. So when you are creating a class with name box, we can expect these attributes. We can expect these attributes. It can have more attributes. It doesn't mean that we have to take only 3 attributes, isn't it? It can have more attributes, like you can add another attribute, weight of this box, isn't it? Color of this box. Likewise, you can add more attributes or more properties, more data members to your class. But for our simple understanding, we are taking only these 3 data members or these 3 properties for your box class. Clear? So quickly we will see how this constructor is helpful in initializing the object. Yes, I will make use of this previous program. Yes, here if you are able to see this one, yes, here I have 3 data members with different scopes. 3 data members with different scopes. One is private, another one is public, and another one is private. So 2 private and 1 public. So public directly we can access, but in order to access this private, we have used these public functions, isn't it? So now this setter methods, I am using these 2 setter methods to set the length as well as to set the height. Yeah, exactly the constructor will do the same job. What these setter methods are doing, exactly the constructor will do the same job. But instead of taking setter method separately, we can take only one constructor and we can initialize all these parameters in it. All these parameters in it. Clear? So now, simply you see, how this constructor is going to work, that I will explain over here. Okay, initializing the values, that is the concept of parameterized constructor that we will see in tomorrow's class. So in today's class, how the constructor is going to work. Okay, when it will be invoked and when it will be called, that we will see in today's class. So I am taking one simple constructor. So my class name is box and I am not taking any parameters, or let us take one simple parameter, public length, double length. I am taking only one data member, length. And now I am taking my constructor. So when I am taking the constructor, I told you the constructor will not have any return type. So directly it should be same like your class name. So how I have to take? Box. Like this only I have to take, followed by like this. Like your regular member functions, a constructor can be defined inside the class or it can be defined outside the class. If you are defining the constructor outside the class, what you have to do? You have to make use of, again, scope resolution operator, and you have to qualify that constructor with class name. So right now I will define the constructor inside the class itself. Inside the class itself. So take like this. So inside this class, for your understanding, I am keeping one simple message, cout of. So what I said, in order to initialize or in order to create the object, we are calling this constructor. So I will put that message, object is being created. Object is being created. Being created. At that time of creation of object only, the constructor will be invoked. So object is being created. So now I am setting this length, as it is not a parameterized constructor, I am making this length a specific value like 40. Okay, like 40. So where I am initializing this 40? Inside this constructor I am initializing this 40. So if this constructor is not invoked, if this constructor is not called, then this message we will not get on the output screen, and this length is not going to hold 40. That you have to remember. Only when this constructor is being called, only if the constructor is being called, you will get this message on the output screen, and this length will become 40. So quickly we'll see. So what I said, do we have to call the constructor specifically? No need. When you are creating the object, at that point only the constructor will be called automatically. The constructor will be called automatically. That means here when you are making box B1, at this point only constructor will be called. Constructor will be called. So at this point only the constructor will be called. That means this message you will get on the output screen and length will become 40. First we will see whether we'll get this message on the output screen or not. As you can see, I have not put any message, any output statement inside the main function. Only I am creating the object. That's it. So now I am going execute, compile. Compilation is successful. You can see compilation is successful. Now run. See, object is being created. I am getting this message. So that means creating the object is automatically invoking my constructor. That is the reason why I am getting this output statement on the screen. So now if I print the length from here, if I print the length from here, cout of B1 length. B1 length is, go to end, and here B1 dot length. B1 dot length. Now what should I get over here? B1 dot length means I have to get this 40 because I made the initialization as 40. I have to get this 40 over here. So now save this, compile, successfully compiled, execute. See, object is being created and B1 length is 40. So I will take that thing into second line. So how can I take that thing into second line? Here you put NLN, end line, that's it. So now save and compile and execute. See here, object is being created and B1 length is 40. That means we are getting the operations from this box constructor. Are we invoking that box constructor anywhere in my main function? No, I am not invoking. So how come I am getting this functionality from this box constructor? Means simply by creating the object of that box class. If you create the object of that box class, automatically this will invoke that constructor and you will get these messages on the output screen. Okay, hopefully we will see the parameterized constructor in our next class, and that parameterized constructor is very much helpful in initializing the object. There you will understand everything. Okay, thank you.